Control your breath, control your life. It sounds simple, right? But what if I told you this one act, breathing, holds the key to unlocking your inner strength, silencing your anxiety, and completely rewiring how you live your life? Most people go through life unaware of the most powerful tool they carry, their breath. They stress, they panic, they spiral into worry, and they never realize that peace, clarity, and power were always just one breath away. It's not magic, it's not myth, it's biology, it's mindset, and it's mastery. From the moment you're born, breath is the first sign of life, and yet most of us spend years taking it for granted. We breathe fast, shallow, stressed. We live reactive lives, constantly pulled in a million directions, not realizing that the fastest way back to focus, peace, and strength is to pause and breathe. But here's the truth that few understand. Your breath controls your state, and your state controls your decisions, your emotions, your actions, your health, your entire life. Think about that. When you're angry, how do you breathe? Fast and tight. When you're scared, quick and shallow. When you're at peace, long and slow. The pattern is clear. Your breath mirrors your state, and that means if you want to shift how you feel, you start by shifting how you breathe. This video is not just about breathing techniques, it's about reclaiming your control. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't get swept away by chaos but centers themselves in the storm. It's about rising above stress, sharpening your focus, mastering your emotions, and stepping into every moment with full power, all through conscious breath. You're going to learn how to use your breath to reduce anxiety, gain emotional control, improve mental clarity, and unlock physical energy. You're going to discover breathing tools that athletes, monks, Navy SEALs, and high performers use to stay grounded, sharp, and unstoppable. But more than anything, you're going to learn that you don't need to seek peace outside. It already lives inside you. This is not hype. This is real, backed by science, built on ancient wisdom, and available to you right here, right now. So if you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, if you're done living on autopilot, if you're ready to take your power back, moment by moment, breath by breath, then this video is for you. Because when you learn to control your breath, you don't just survive, you lead, you grow, you elevate. Control your breath, control your emotions, control your focus, control your future, control your breath, and you will control your life. The hidden power within you, your breath. We chase control in every area of life, our finances, our relationships, our goals, but we overlook the one thing that controls it all, our breath. Yes, your breath. That quiet, steady rhythm that has been with you since the day you were born. Most people never think about it. They take shallow, stressed breaths all day, not realizing they're sabotaging their own clarity, peace, and power. But here's the truth. When you control your breath, you control your mind. And when you control your mind, you control your life. Breath is the bridge between your body and your mind. It's the silent key that unlocks focus, balance, and strength. In moments of chaos, it's not the situation that destroys you. It's your reaction, and your reaction is tied directly to your breath. When fear takes over, your breathing becomes shallow and fast. When you're calm, it's deep and slow. But what if you could choose how to breathe? Even in stressful moments, what if you could master that rhythm, and in doing so, master your life? That's the power of intentional breathing. It doesn't take equipment, money, or talent. It only takes awareness. Inhale deeply. That's strength. Exhale slowly. That's release. Do that consciously, and you begin to command your nervous system, your thoughts, and your energy. Think about the greatest athletes, leaders, and monks. They all have one thing in common: breath control. They've learned that life's storms don't shake you when your breath is anchored. Breath gives you poise under pressure, presence in pain, and power when life feels out of control. The breath is always with you. It's the one tool you can use anywhere at any time to reset your mind and realign your focus. So why not use it to your advantage? Start today, right now. Take a deep breath in, hold it, feel the power in stillness. Now exhale slowly. Le, T-go. That's control. That's your power returning. Remember, you don't have to control everything. You just have to control how you breathe through it. Breathing through stress. How to reclaim your calm. Stress is everywhere. Deadlines, pressure, uncertainty, failure, conflict. You can't escape stress, but you can control how it lives in your body. And the key to that control is right under your nose, your breath. When stress hits, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your heart races, your muscles tighten, your mind spins. But this automatic reaction isn't meant to last all day. It's only meant for survival. The problem is, we've made that state normal. And chronic stress? It wrecks your health, your focus, your emotions, and your sleep. But here's the good news. You have the power to switch off stress, not by medication or distraction, but by breathing differently. Deep, controlled breathing sends a signal to your nervous system. I'm safe, I'm in control, I can relax. Just a few minutes of deep breathing can lower your cortisol, slow your heart rate, and bring you back to the present. Let's get practical. One powerful technique is the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale slowly for 8. Do this for 2 minutes and watch what happens. Your body relaxes, your mind clears. You stop reacting and start responding. Breathing is your anchor in the storm. It doesn't change the situation, but it changes you. It gives you space, the space between trigger and reaction, between pressure and peace. When you learn to breathe through stress, you stop letting life control you. You stop panicking, you stop spiraling, you pause, you breathe, and you return to your power. You handle the challenge with clarity, not chaos. Breathing is also a form of emotional intelligence. When you feel anger rising, jealousy burning, or fear creeping in, take a breath, hold it, exhale it. You are not your emotions. You are the one observing them. And when you breathe through them, you regain your control. The world will not get less stressful, but you can become less reactive. You can become calmer, wiser, and more focused, simply by learning to breathe with intention. Breath as a tool for focus and clarity. Let's talk about focus. In a world full of distractions, notifications, noise, non-stop information, clarity feels like a rare gift. But here's the truth. Clarity is not something you stumble into. It's something you breathe into. That's right. Your breath is the secret to mental clarity, sharper focus, and deeper awareness. Because the mind follows the breath. A scattered breath leads to a scattered mind, but a steady breath leads to a centered mind. Ever tried working on something important but your thoughts kept racing? That's your breath betraying your focus. Your body is stressed, your breathing is shallow, and your attention is fragmented. But if you stop, close your eyes, and take 5 deep breaths, everything begins to shift. Here's why. Intentional breathing increases oxygen flow to the brain. It slows down the stress response and boosts cognitive function. It creates space between your thoughts so you can observe them instead of being overwhelmed by them. A great method for this is box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold again for 4, like the 4 sides of a box. Repeat for a few minutes before a big task, decision, or meeting, and your mind will be sharper, your thoughts will be cleaner, you'll have mental control. Breath also improves memory and creativity. It opens the frontal lobe, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, focus, and problem-solving. That means your best ideas aren't hiding, they're buried under tension, and breath is the shovel. By incorporating mindful breathing into your day, especially before moments that demand attention, you give yourself an edge. You'll respond instead of react. You'll listen more fully. You'll speak with intention. That's the power of breath-based awareness. The most successful people don't always have more time. They just have a better focus. And that focus isn't given. It's trained. And one of the best tools to train it? The breath. Breathe with purpose, and your thoughts will follow. Breathe with rhythm, and your life will too. Using breath to manage fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are powerful forces. They can paralyze you, cloud your mind, and steal your peace. But what if I told you that the antidote to anxiety isn't out there? It's inside you, in every breath you take. Your breath is the remote control to your nervous system. When anxiety kicks in, it's because your body is in fight or flight. But through conscious breathing, you can reclaim control. You can send a direct message to your brain. I'm okay. I'm safe. Fear thrives in the future, in what-if thinking. But breathing brings you back to the present. You can't breathe consciously and worry obsessively at the same time. Try it. Focus on a slow inhale, and your mind will quiet down. One powerful technique for fear is alternate nostril breathing, a yoga-based practice that balances both sides of the brain. It reduces panic and promotes emotional equilibrium. Another is simply slow breathing. Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 7. The long exhale activates the parasympathetic system, your body's natural calm-down switch. And beyond the science, breathing gives you agency. It reminds you that you're not powerless. You may not control the external world, but you can control your internal world. That's real power. When fear hits, stop running, stop panicking. Instead, pause and breathe. Name the fear, acknowledge it, then breathe through it. Let the emotion rise and let your breath stay steady. That's how you weaken fear's grip, not by resisting it, but by being present with it. Make this your daily practice, not just in crisis moments, but as a way of life. Morning breathing rituals, breath pauses during work, calm breathing before sleep. Because when your breath becomes your anchor, anxiety loses its power. You are stronger than you think. And your breath, it's your hidden weapon. Use it and you'll discover that even in fear you can be grounded. Even in anxiety you can be still. Control your breath, control your life. Breath work and emotional mastery. Emotions are powerful. They can fuel your drive or sabotage your progress. They can help you grow or keep you stuck. And often it's not what we feel that hurts us. It's how we react to those feelings. But there's a tool that can give you control over your emotions, your breath. Most people live at the mercy of their emotions. They get angry and lash out. They feel sad and shut down. They get anxious and spiral. But breath offers a different way, a higher way, a path to emotional mastery. Here's the truth. Emotions are energy in motion, and breath is the tool to regulate that energy. When you breathe slowly, deeply, and mindfully, you send signals to your brain that everything is okay. You become the calm in your own storm. Let's break this down. When anger rises, your breath shortens. Your body prepares for battle. But when you become aware and consciously take control of your breath, you slow down the emotional surge. You create space between stimulus and response. And in that space, you take your power back. Same goes for sadness, fear, overwhelm, all of it. By simply shifting your breathing pattern, you shift your emotional state. You can go from reactive to reflective, from scattered to centered, from chaos to control. Try this the next time emotions take over. Inhale for 6 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Do that for 3 minutes. You'll feel the difference. Your heart rate drops, your thoughts soften, your body loosens. You come back to yourself. This is not denial. This is not suppression. This is regulation. Emotional maturity doesn't mean you don't feel deeply. It means you don't let those feelings control your behavior. The most powerful people aren't the ones who feel the least, they're the ones who manage what they feel the best. And that mastery is built through consistent breath work. Breath gives you authority over your internal world. It helps you respond instead of react. It allows you to move with wisdom instead of impulse. It lets you hold peace in moments where others would collapse. This is your edge. This is your secret weapon. This is how you lead yourself, because if you can't control your breath when emotions rise, you won't control your actions. And that's how opportunities get lost and relationships get broken. But not you. You're building something greater. Breath by breath, you're mastering your state, your emotions, your responses. And when you do that, you master your life. Breath and physical vitality. Your body listens to your breath. Every cell, every organ, every system, they're all influenced by how you breathe. Yet most people live in survival mode, breathing shallow and fast, limiting oxygen and slowly draining their energy. But the truth is simple. If you want more energy, more strength, more vitality, it starts with your breath. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing is like fuel for your system. It oxygenates your blood, boosts circulation, and improves digestion. It lowers inflammation, enhances immunity, and balances hormones. And the best part? You don't need a pill or a program, just your breath. Want to increase your stamina? Breathe deeper. Want to recover faster? Control your exhale. Want to improve your posture, sleep, even your skin? It's all linked to your breathing. Many people don't realize they're breathing wrong. They breathe through their chest, not their belly. They breathe through their mouth, not their nose. They rush through life, taking short, anxious breaths, and wonder why they're always tired, scattered, and inflamed. But when you shift from unconscious to conscious breathing, your body comes alive. You wake up your nervous system. You improve your lung capacity. You literally feed your body with life. One technique that enhances physical vitality is nasal breathing, breathing in and out through the nose. It filters air, warms it, and helps you retain more oxygen. Another is breath holds after exhalation, which train your CO2 tolerance and boost your cardiovascular endurance. You don't need to wait for burnout to fix your body. You can start now, breath by breath. Every time you inhale deeply, you are charging your system. Every time you exhale slowly, you are releasing stress. This is self-care in its purest form. Your body is your vehicle through life. Don't wait until it breaks down to pay attention. Use your breath to nourish it, heal it, and optimize it. Because when your breath is strong, your body becomes unshakable. And when your body is aligned, your performance skyrockets. So don't just eat better. Don't just sleep more. Breathe better. Because your breath is the foundation. And when the foundation is strong, everything you build on top of it stands tall. Breathing with intention creates a life with intention. We all want a life of meaning, purpose, and direction. But we often live on autopilot, rushing, reacting, surviving. And the root of that autopilot living? Autopilot breathing. If your breath is shallow and chaotic, your life will reflect that. But if your breath is deep, rhythmic, and intentional, your choices, habits, and emotions begin to shift too. The breath is more than survival. It's the starting point of intentional living. It's your first conscious act. It anchors you to the present, awakens your awareness, and gives you a sense of control in an otherwise unpredictable world. Intentional breath equals intentional thoughts. Intentional thoughts equals intentional decisions. And intentional decisions, that's how you shape a powerful life. Let's make it real. Wake up in the morning. Instead of reaching for your phone, sit up and take 10 deep breaths. Inhale peace, exhale stress. Set your tone for the day. That alone will give you more clarity than most people ever experience before noon. Before a big meeting, breathe intentionally. Before responding to conflict, breathe intentionally. Before speaking to someone you love, breathe intentionally. Because intention sharpens focus, and breath unlocks intention. So many people search for motivation in external sources, but the most lasting motivation is inner alignment. When your breath slows, your awareness grows. And when awareness grows, your life becomes a masterpiece, shaped consciously, not carelessly. Even your goals become more focused, your relationships improve, your time is spent with precision. Why? Because you're not drifting anymore, you're directing. Breathing with intention reminds you that you are not a victim of your day. You are the author of it. Each breath becomes a page, each exhale a decision, and the more you breathe with presence, the more powerful your story becomes. So don't just breathe to survive, breathe to create, breathe to become, breathe to stay aligned with your deepest truth. Because when you control your breath, you don't just manage stress, you master life itself. Your breath is your superpower. Use it. By now, you've heard it again and again. Your breath is powerful, but let's be clear, it's not just a wellness tip. It's a superpower. It's the quiet, invisible force that determines how you think, feel, move, act, and live. And the best part, it's always with you. You don't need equipment, you don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need perfect conditions, you just need to remember. Remember that in every moment, joy or fear, chaos or clarity, you have the ability to pause, breathe, and reset. When the world gets noisy, your breath is your silence. When life moves too fast, your breath slows things down. When fear creeps in, your breath anchors you to faith. When doubt rises, your breath grounds you in truth. This is what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. The ability to control your internal state, regardless of what's happening externally. And it all begins with breath. You want to lead? Start with your breath. You want to build discipline? Start with your breath. You want peace, purpose, energy, clarity? It all starts here. Because your breath connects you to your power, the power to be intentional, the power to stay present, the power to live awake. Most people will never tap into this. They'll breathe through life on autopilot and wonder why they feel anxious, lost, reactive, and tired. But not you. You've been given the reminder. You are one breath away from power, one breath away from peace, one breath away from the best version of yourself. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, unfocused, or unworthy, pause, close your eyes, and breathe. Not just to feel better, but to be better. Not just to survive the moment, but to rise through it. Because when you control your breath, you control your life. Let's bring it all home now. You've just walked through one of the most life-changing truths that most people will never understand. The breath is not just air. The breath is power. It's the silent guide that can pull you out of panic. The invisible strength that can anchor you in peace. The one tool that you were born with and yet most people never fully use. You've learned that when stress rises, you don't need to react, you can breathe. When fear grabs hold, you don't need to shut down, you can breathe. When your mind feels scattered, unfocused, or weak, you can breathe. And through that breath, you create space, you create calm, you create clarity, you create control. You see, most people live from the outside in. They let their environment control their mood, their circumstances control their choices. Their emotions dictate their actions, but the ones who truly rise, the ones who live awake, aware and aligned, they live from the inside out. And their breath, that's where it all begins. This is your wake-up call, not to do more, not to run faster, but to slow down and breathe with intention, to pause when everyone else panics, to inhale when pressure builds, to exhale when life feels heavy. Because every time you choose to control your breath, you're telling the world, I control me, not my fear, not my past, not the opinions, not the noise. I control my state, I control my energy, I control how I show up. And that, my friend, is real freedom. That is real leadership. That is how you take back your life. So, from this moment forward, I want you to make a decision, a personal vow that you will no longer live on autopilot, that you will no longer let stress dictate your pace or fear direct your path, that you will remember, breath by breath, who you really are. You are powerful, you are grounded, you are capable of handling anything. Not because life gets easier, but because you've learned to master yourself. And your breath, that's the tool that will walk with you through every storm, every challenge, every victory. Quiet, steady, loyal, always there when you need it. So take this with you. Make breathwork a daily ritual. Use it to think clearer, love deeper, lead stronger, live fuller. And when doubt creeps in, pause, close your eyes, breathe. Because you don't need to control everything. You just need to control how you breathe through it. Control your breath, and you will control your life.